6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Toon fans, massive crew out there, bishing, bashing, boshing. That's for you, Sparky, mate. Good evening, everyone through Black and White Eyes. How are we all doing? Fans Forum tonight. So this is your show. I'm just here to keep it fair and square and right down the middle. You know, keep us all in line. First of all, Graham Ritchie, thank you very much for coming a member. That's really, really kind of you. We really appreciate that. As always, welcome to the Fans Forum. Please like and share, subscribe, hype the show if you can. You're allowed to do it 3 times a week, apparently. Hit the thumbs up, help support. You can become a member like Graham. Link is in the bottom or top of the chat or somewhere. You just click on join. That's all you got to do. Donate, bottom right-hand corner. And hopefully I can get some of the money back that I've already donated that hasn't been paid for yet. Because yesterday I donated £25 to Henry from the channel for his Great North run. Henry Winter, obviously part of the channel, voice of BBC now. He's got a new job, but he's also doing the matches still on the radio. So what a guy. Please adhere to standard community guidelines, keep comments respectful, and of course enjoy the show. So welcome Richie, welcome Gary, welcome Ian, welcome Chris. Baz has become a new rapper. I definitely cannot rap, put it that way. I can't sing to start with. Dan, how are we doing?
Good evening, sir. How are you?
I'm very good.
Good.
I'm looking forward to this. It should be fun.
Yeah. We had a great conversation yesterday with Gibbo.
Oh, brilliant.
We had Monday was a long day with the transfer window. So no, this is we've had an episode a day. It's been pretty terrific, you know. No, looking forward to the rest of the forum.
This is where we can sit back a little bit and listen to other views. 2 have turned up so far. There was someone else who was meant to turn up, and our friend from San Diego says he was available, so I've sent him the link as well.
Oh, super. Good.
But he hasn't responded yet.
He and I have been chatting, so this is good.
All right, there we go. Right, let's bring the man himself in.
Oi. Yes.
Oi, massive crew.
How's it going, lads? Buzzing to be back again. Buzzing to be spending my Wednesday night with Superfan Dan and Mr. Newcastle himself, Baz Thomas.
Mr. Newcastle himself. Oh, it makes me laugh, Sparky. Is that your mate, Geordie Rob? It is. Yes. It is. He needs to come on his show when he can. He's at work tonight, and so he's skiving.
Season ticket holder, hold tight.
Hi, Simon. How's it going?
What's about you?
Yes, very good, man. Thanks for joining us. I really appreciate it. It's nice to get different voices on and getting different views. There was meant to be Jason. I don't know what's happened to him tonight. He's read the message, but hey, doesn't come, he doesn't come. Welcome, Rob. Have you seen the guy who wrote the song "The Hokey Cokey Has Died"? Was problems with the coffin when they tried to. Oh, Jesus Christ! That's like saying the jokes, you know, like why is 9 scared of 7? Because 7, 8, 9.
Yep.
You know, do you know what I mean? My little girl loves that joke though, and so is my little boy as well. It's easy to please little kids, isn't it, when it comes to jokes like that? Boy, do I have a controversial take for you. Okay, Chris. Depending on what that controversial take is, please don't get into any necrophilia jokes, though. Please, if you can avoid them. A magnificent beard from you. You know what Chris is like, and you know that's exactly the route he'll go down if we let him. First of all, I want to say a massive thank you to Butterwick. This was Graham Bailey's chosen charity. We donated £55 after he did his show with us. They sent me 2 emails, and they also sent me a letter today as well to say thank you for the donation. And they're the only charity we've donated to, except obviously, of course, for Stanley Deaf Club, who did a video for us and everything we've done for them. But everybody else we've donated money to, they're the only ones who have really said thank you in the way that they did. So it makes me want to do a little bit more for them at some point. So watch this space. But it's nice to get things like that, isn't it? Dad jokes are the best. I think Gordon and Botman will need to... Ooh. No, I am not having this. Just because they said goodbye to the rat, it doesn't mean they have to go. No. You're smoking Sparky's joints when you're saying comments, right? This is the first thing we're going to talk about, the Champions League squad. So, Port Ramsdale, Trippier, Botman, Shaw, Chow, Kraft, Livramento, and Byrne. And then Joe Linton, Tonali, Willick, Bruno Guimaraes, Ramsey. And then the forwards, you've got Wissa, Gordon, Barnes, Sula, Alanga, Murphy, and Voltermaid, sorry. Miley is in the squad, but he's under 21, so he doesn't need to be announced in the numbers. And that's the same for... There's another one.
Joe Murphy, is it?
Murphy.
Alex Murphy.
He's another one. There's also another one. There was 2.
Steve?
No, there was 2 big names. Was Hall not one of them?
Hall was listed as a defender, was he not? No, he's not.
No,
Oh,
so Hall. Yeah, Hall and Miley. They are in the squad. They're just not... They don't count towards the official numbers. The players that miss out are the Cells and a couple of goalkeepers, and there's somebody else of no note as well. But the Cells is the big miss because obviously we don't need them. Which means he'll play Carabao Cup games and those sort of games around and maybe the lesser fixtures. So, first of all, Sparky, are you happy with the defensive side of things when you look at that? Are you happy that the Cells misses out?
Yeah, for me, that's absolutely solid and that's the way to go. Obviously, the reason that Eddie Howe's done the recruitment was obviously bringing in Malik Chow, obviously international experience, Champions League experience, like from the Serie A as well. So for me, yeah, that's absolutely solid at the back for me. Like, and as I say, if we need to integrate like Dan Byrne, for example, slot him in at left back or rotate like Tino. Yeah, we've got enough cover. I think we're going to do really, really well. I can't wait for Barcelona. Honestly, I just can't wait. It's going to be electric at St. James's Park.
It is. I've applied for a ticket, but there's no frigging chance of getting one.
Right. I'll see you guys for your Baz.
Oh, thanks. That's not going to help.
Just never know. You just never know.
You just never know. I know. Simon, what do you make of the defensive side of things?
I don't think there's any other option than what Eddie's done. You know, we all knew coming out of the transfer window at the end of it was a bit short of left back, but like Sparky said, you know, Burns going to slot in there if needs be.
Hall's there, Tino's there. I mean, Hall is in the squad.
Yeah.
He just doesn't need to be included in the numbers. Yeah. So you've got Hall, you've got Tino, you've got Dan Byrne. All can play a left back.
Yeah, I think we need to see Tino more as taking on that role of a successor for Trippier. You know, rather than him just being made into a left back.
Oh, 100%. But it's nice to be able to have that versatility, though, isn't it?
Oh yeah, that option's there. But you know, if Trippier's out, I mean, what's he now? 34. I can't see him lasting the whole season, so we are a bit light there.
Yeah, Trippier will definitely not play every game. That is 100% for sure. Oh, come on, me! You've just repeated yourself in the chat. That's one strike. But yeah, we're not going to buy another right back yet. That's the thing, because we don't technically need to buy one. We've got Kraft who can also play there as well.
Well, Chow as well. Chow spent quite a bit of time at right back as well. So
yeah, he can play right back, right centre back. I think he's got an unbelievable versatility. I think Hall's the only one in the centre back situation that can't play another position. Maybe Botman as well, but Hall can play in midfield. But what I mean is he can't play centre back. You know, he can't play right back like Tino can.
It just doesn't have that physicality.
Yeah, I just don't think he has the experience either, to be fair. Fan Dan, you happy?
I am. When you consider that Alec that Lewis Hall doesn't need to be named in there simply due to age and is it because he's homegrown as well? Because he's English. So no, I think we've got enough cover there. I am disappointed a little bit that Lascelles doesn't make it simply because, you know, he let us out against PSG the last time we had Champions League football at St. James's Park, you know, and he wasn't bad. But I see your logic, you know, that keeps him fresh for the domestic cup competitions. Also keeps him fresh as backup for Prem games. So I mean, it's all good. But as club captain, I'm kind of disappointed for his sake.
Yeah, I see what you mean. But we've got to. This is the one thing that we have to try and get away from as fans when it comes to investing into players' sentimentality.
Yep.
Because players will be sold, players will be bought, players will be moved on, players will want to leave, as we know, and it makes our life a hell of a lot harder when we fall in love with them. So try not to.
We've got enough coverage there. I think in midfield we look a little light.
Yeah, this is the midfield. So you've obviously got Joe Linton, Tonali, Willock, Bruno, and Ramsey. Miley, obviously there as well.
Joe Linton, Willock, and Ramsey have questionable injury, histories there. Yeah. So little concern there. That's a hell of a forward line to bring to bear. That's a lot more than we've had in the past.
Absolutely. So, I mean, it puts the wingers in there, doesn't it, a little bit, which makes it look like it's bolstered a lot more. Spark, are you happy with all that there? I mean, obviously we would have loved another striker in the window, but that was never going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, for me, that's once again absolutely looking solid. And there you've got like a lot of rotation as well, and a lot of versatile in there as well when it comes to the wingers as well. Just looking back, obviously throughout the squad, I was desperate on transfer deadline day just to get another wing back through the door, really, just as a little bit more cover with Matt Target going out the door. But maybe that'll happen in January.
Yeah, mate. Like I say, we've got plenty of cover anyway. Unless someone else gets injured, I don't think we're in a bad position.
But like for me, I think we're going to do some damage, and we've got the double W's up front there now. So the Wissam ultimate. So I bring the noise for the Geordie boys. That's what I say.
There's got to be a terrible joke in there somewhere, like World Wars or something like that, hasn't there? Simon, your thought on the rest of the squad there? You happy?
Yeah, I think we really, plumped out the squad, with the transfer. And I think, it started off pretty dire, but I think by the end of it, I think we've come out, smelling the roses. Voldemade, I think we're going to see a lot of us actually playing, Bruno and Tonali, and then Voldemade in the 10. He's got that technicality about him. So when Superfan Dan was saying, that we might be a bit thin in the midfield, I think we're going to see a lot of, playing a different system. I don't think it's going to be that 4-3-3 or 4-1-1.
Yeah, there's a possibility. There's lots of different variations going around. 4-2-3-1 potentially as well. The thing is, with playing both of them, you have little way of changing the game from the bench if both of them are on. So I don't think they'll start both straight away. I think they'll come into it a little bit later on.
Well, they're both going to take time to settle. They're both going to take time to settle and adapt to Eddie's way of doing things. I mean, we've witnessed that ever since Eddie's walked through the door. He doesn't just throw people into the mix straight away because it takes time. I mean, it took Hall a year. It took Bruno, 6 games before he started at Southampton?
Yeah.
So
that's because he came in January, didn't he? But again, this is like a January window to us now, isn't it? Because the games had already started. So yeah, I see your point. I can see Wissa starting before Voldemade because he's Premier League proven potentially. There we go. I can't work it out. All right. Johnny will take advantage of the teams with PSI issues. We're in a great position to do that. Simon, how are you doing? Other Simon in San Diego. We've got two Simons now.
I'm good. How are you?
Very good, mate. What do you make of the Champions League squad?
I actually missed a little bit of it with traveling. I heard you saying Lascelles didn't make it.
No, he's been dropped out of it.
Which I don't think is a surprise, really, is it? I think if we could have shifted him in the summer, we probably would have with the other guys coming in. But I haven't, like I say, we're traveling. I just found out this morning it was Thursday was the first game. I completely went over my head, you know, with all the Isak saga going on. I kind of missed that a little bit.
Yeah, Barcelona first game at home. I can't wait.
I actually have the day off work somehow, so I will be at Fair Play at noon. It's a noon kickoff in California, as Dan will know, and I'm going to go to that.
Nice, I love it. Well, the squad is looking strong, to be fair. So I'm actually very happy about it. To be fair, watch out Barcelona, because we are coming for you. Right now, the transfer window is slammed shut. It's completely finished now. Nothing till January. How do we rate our transfer window? We did this sort of last night with Gibbo, but I want to hear your thoughts on it. So out of 10, Sparky, you know, obviously 10 being the best, 0 being the worst. How good has our transfer business been?
Yeah, I mean, to be totally honest, like just the whole Isaac saga just put a dampener on everything else that was happening in regards. You know, we got rid of the Vabregan, brought in Ramsdale, swapped an older guy for a younger lad who's better with his feet than Nick Pope, and a better shot stopper than Nick Pope as well, in my personal opinion. Obviously, we got Almiron's replacement eventually in getting Alanga, which just totally strengthened the side. Bring that pace, Premier League experience to the table as well. And then, as I say, it's like we've got Ramsey due to the Aston Villa's unfortunate PSR issues, which is like, once again, the total game's just totally fixed, which is like totally frustrating for like us, Aston Villa, X, Y, and Z. So overall, I'm going to give it like a solid 8 since we brought in a couple of strikers. So yeah, I would have still been happy with another replacement wing back, but I'm hoping that might come in January.
Blade's brilliant. We didn't replace the 2 goalkeepers. It's a 7. Come on, I love it. Simon in the UK, your thoughts?
I think it's been a really, really good window. I think we're looking at somewhere around the 8 mark. I think we could have done something else in midfield and possibly at left back, but from where the window started and where it started to go, and all the media speculation about Isak didn't help anything. I think we've dealt with it really well, especially with no football director in place, and I think we've really come out of this like I said before, smelling the roses. I was watching some stuff online earlier, and that idiot over at United, Goldbridge, saying that we've had a better window than them, and that's from a United fan actually admitting that we've had a better window than them. So we've strengthened all over. We've got a goalkeeper, we've got centre half, we've got midfield, right wing, and 2 strikers. It's got to be an 8 out of 10. Has to be.
Yeah, I'm in your kind of region, to be fair. San Diego, Simon.
This will probably change with hindsight, as Eddie says. You judge a window like a year or 2 down the line, and it's probably foreshadowed, like we said about the Isak thing. But I just feel like we're at a 7.
Yeah.
I mean that was a pretty big kick in the stones, as it were. We'll have to see how the big German does, because he's only had a season or so really in top flight at Stuttgart. He played, so there's the change there. Yeah. Yes, there's Wieser. I had a I tried to reach out to a couple of Brentford fans over the weekend. Like, what price did they think was fair? Because I think 55 million is just ridiculous.
Extortionate.
We got shafted like from both ends. Liverpool took us for a ride. I think you know, the whole summer it was 150 and then it's supposed to be 125. And Brentford, somehow our opening bid was 25 million and they got us for 55 million. I don't think I've ever seen that happen before. Like, it never goes up that high. I don't think we lowballed them at the original sort of offer. 1 year on his contract, 29, you know, that whole thing.
African Cup of Nations, of course.
Yeah. And I happened to look back as this Brentford account was like, 55 million. He bangs in goals. He's you know, Tony, whatever. And I look back, I'm like, he only banged in goals one season. Last season after Tony left, he had 12 the season before that.
Yeah.
So
12 is still a lot though for someone who was a second striker potentially behind Tony. That's what you got to remember. So I'll debunk a few things for you.
Yes, 12 might be considered a lot for a second striker, but we had two strikers play once and they scored 49 goals between them, didn't they? Colin Beardsley.
That was a long time ago. They played 42 games. 42 games in a season then as well, remember? Wasn't it? It was a 44 games. 44 games in a season then.
But if that's the case, that's still a hell of a drop off 12 goals.
It is.
But if you think about it, that's what, 1 in 4? 1 in 3, maybe 3.5.
Yeah,
I guess.
like that, yeah.
Well,
granted, probably not penalties involved, so that's a good one.
That's quality, no penalties involved for 19 goals. But I'll debunk a few things for you. He had officially 1 year on his contract, but Brentford had the option to also extend it. So technically, he had 2 years left. So we weren't really buying him with 1 year left on his contract. So that kind of debunks that a little bit.
The Brentford guy did point that out because nobody else mentioned that. And he said it's actually 1 plus they've got the option. Yeah,
exactly. And the player had no say in that option either. They could have just said, we're extending it for another year. So when you think about it, 55 million, 50 million, probably a little bit too much. I personally think in his prime, with 2 years left on his contracts, that's technically what it was. I think you're looking at 40, 45 million. So I don't think we were taken by that much, especially for someone who scored that many goals. And then you've got to think about what he's worth to that football club. They already sold him Bremo. So Wissa was technically their last striker. So he is worth a hell of a lot of money to them because of what they're losing between the two of them. Then you've got the Isak side of things. If you're saying that, you know, it's a tough one because Isak actually went for 130 million. The reported 125 was actually 130. The club never said 150. Conditions had to be met before they sold him, and it feels like all the conditions were met. Now, the big plus out of the Isak deal is just not getting any bonus payments.
Yeah, now, because Liverpool paid it.
Well, apparently the bonus payments are rumoured but up to 15 million.
5 million, what I heard, but apparently
the 5, I've heard 15.
I saw somebody on TalkSport say 5. Whatever the guy with the Tash Cook, whatever his, I don't know. He said it was 5.
Well, there you go. So
earlier today,
130. Then you put the 5 bonus on that, so that's 135. We're only 15 million short of it, aren't we?
He said it was 125 and the 5.
Who'd you believe?
Well, that's the thing. Like, you got Luke Edwards, everybody else. You know, my problem with the window isn't so much necessarily also all the players we brought in or we didn't bring in, because we brought some great players in. Like Chow, I kind of wanted Chow last year. I mean, Alanga, I think will come good. I agree. The other Simon said a midfielder, another midfielder might have been nice. I agree with that. We've let Longstaff go. We're talking about what's his face, Lewis Miley. Like, how's he going to get, whatever. Although I don't necessarily want somebody to come in ahead of Miley. I'd like to see his development. My bigger issue is just the club in general. Like, what are they doing? You had a year to replace a director of football, or not a director of football, a CEO. Yeah, and they did nothing. I mean, I know they say PIF is sort of glacial in how they do business, and you got to see this person and this person and this person before it gets signed off or what have you. Yeah. But it's a year.
Oh, I absolutely agree with you.
Wars have been declared fought and won. You know, far faster than this. You know, I am astounded by the lack of movement within the club. The team on the field far outstrips what's going on behind the scenes, and it's 2 steps backwards for every step forward at the moment.
Yeah. So we did a big show on that, me and Gary, and I agree with everything you're saying because we highlighted every single thing that was going on behind the scenes that should have been done, that hasn't been done. Now we have heard the CEO and the DOF will be in when the window closes in the next couple of weeks because they didn't want to bring them in halfway through the window because if we did and failed, everyone would be pointing the finger straight at them. Yes. So they were protecting them a little bit. But you are right. Why weren't they in before the summer window started? Why weren't all the targets ready? And why wasn't Wilson replaced so quickly that he should have been? It's all up for debate, isn't it, really?
Well, they supposedly employed a company to find the new CEO. What the heck have they been doing for 365 days?
Not a lot.
You know what I mean? Like they've had a literal year. And from what I heard a piece a little while ago that Eels hasn't even been there for months and months, and the de facto CEO has been Silverstone, and the way he has managed to get deals done at the minute, it's no surprise we've had the window or what have you the way it's been, because to me he's been MIA since he signed the Adidas deal in a way. And I know people are going to say, well, we had the crypto and there's a few other things, but there's a lot of low-hanging fruit that hasn't been, you know, training ground sponsor or kit sponsor or, you know, where's our official tractor? You know, Man United have had Husqvarna or whatever they are for years and years and years. There's all kinds of things we could be doing for little amounts of money that all go into the pot.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yep.
Yeah, and then there's the timelines, though, of how long they're signed for, and then the Man City case gets solved. Are we tied into contracts we don't want to be? There's so many answers to questions that we'll probably never get, unfortunately. What is going on with stuff like that? I agree with that. I did run a poll for this, and I think I showed it last night. Everyone agrees, really, 8 out of 10 is probably what everyone's thinking, 55%. Everyone's there around. Someone said 6 and below. I've got no idea where you get 6 and below from, because this is potentially probably the greatest incoming window we've had in our history, to be fair. Apart from, well, when it comes to bodies in, 6 quality players, you'd have to go all the way back to Alan Shearer signing, Les Ferdinand signing, David Ginola signing, for me to be as excited as I am this window.
Probably rival fans, that 6%.
Yeah.
4%, sorry.
Yeah.
Possibly.
I mean, Jesus Christ, they've been in every podcast, haven't they? This whole Alexander Isak situation.
Oh, God, I'm sick of
They're everywhere. They're everywhere.
Yeah, apparently, I'm sick of Liverpool fans, to be fair. But I did have them on strings yesterday, so I did quite enjoy myself a little bit. Not many clubs actually have a training ground kit sponsor. I know, but we should have, because of the situation we're in. I get that, but you know, we should have a new trade. They came out and said, sorry, Dan, very quick. They came out and said, who would be happy if we changed the name of the stadium because the money would go back into the club? We all said yes, and it's never happened. It's crazy. Go on, Dan.
I will say that I was disappointed in reading. I think it was a story in the Athletic yesterday, which also goes in the New York Times. I think I was disappointed yesterday to learn that Liverpool, their Adidas contract is for 60 million a year, and ours is 30, or maybe 35, depending. So I'm just sitting there going, "Come on, Adidas! We showed you what our marketability capabilities are last season. I think maybe it's Silverstone needs to sit down and talk that one through again. Let's see if we can get them up to 40, get them up to something more. Because I'm sorry, yes, it's Liverpool, and I am sick to my eye teeth of Liverpool this summer. But why do we see such differences in the sponsorship dollars when it comes to wearing a kit?
I think that's easy.
It's the fair market value that the Premier League brought in as soon as we were.
No, it's got nothing to do with that, and I'll explain that. But first of all, go to Dan. Liverpool won the Premier League.
Yes, I know that. But what
But
was what were they getting before that? What were they getting before that then?
Well, it was with Nike, wasn't it? So they changed to
So
Adidas.
it changed.
But
Did they become
that
Adidas
60
this summer?
Yeah, it's this summer, and that 60 million is its base. That's not performance related. I'm sure I read an article when they signed it that said it's like 100 million. It's $1 billion contract. It's 100 million a year if they hit all the targets.
Yeah. So it all depends how big of a club
like
you are.
Puma and Man City then.
Yeah. It's effectively it's effectively a 10-year, 100 million a season contract.
Yeah. So I'll come back to Simon UK. The reason why it's not fair market value, why it doesn't count, is because Adidas don't own anything to do with Liverpool. Same as Puma don't own anything to do with Man City, which is why they've got such a huge sponsorship deal. The fair market value only comes into play when Newcastle deal with Saudi Arabia or Man City deal with one of the clubs that they bought, like is it Genoa in Spain?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Fair market value comes into play when it's same party. Yeah, Girona. It's same party to same party transaction. Adidas isn't Liverpool. Adidas isn't Newcastle. So we could get the exact same deal that Liverpool have got if Adidas were willing to offer it.
Okay, well,
that makes sense.
It makes sense, but I'm pretty sure that I've read somewhere that it's regardless of same party ownership, fair market value is a base requirement, and it will all deals will be scrutinized and ratified by the Premier League.
They can be looked at, but they can't do anything about it because it literally is down to same party transactions. You see, that's why Chelsea have been absolutely unbelievable in all this because they found loopholes around everything.
Start on Chelsea. Hotels and the stadium and that. It's just mad.
The other thing with that kit deal for Liverpool, they have, I didn't realize this, but I saw last month a stat on it or whatever. They have 20 standalone merchandise stores around the world.
Yeah.
That are just Liverpool FC branded stores selling all their merch around the world. And there's like 4 in China, Hong Kong, Dubai, New York City,
Yeah.
California.
This is why they're flying.
Silverstone needs to pull his thumb out.
Yeah, I think the Isaac taking Newcastle to court is a complete joke. But yeah, honestly, Simon, I hate to pee on your cornflakes with that one, but it's same party transaction. So this is the reason why they closed that gap with the ATP ruling as soon as Newcastle got took over, because the new PSR wouldn't be a problem if Seller came in and went, right, there's £1 billion sponsorship, because PSR wouldn't be a problem then. But then they went, ATP ruling, you can't have same party transactions. It's got to be approved by the Premier League, and it's got to be a fair market value. So you cannot sponsor yourselves to the amount of money that you think you can. So that's why it's all our sponsorships from Saudi have been done, like Noon, that's been dumbed down. Sellers been dumbed down. Everything.
Noon is an Abu Dhabi company.
Is it? I thought it. Sure.
No, they're an Abu Dhabi company. They're the Amazon of the Middle East. They have a close relationship with PIF, but they're not a PIF owned. PIF, I don't think, owns anything of them. They're just a quite established company in the Middle East.
Right. Sparky?
Yeah, so I mean, I'm just going back, rewinding the clock. So like these guys have came in, they've took over, and they're just absolutely sorting out the mess that Mike Ashley's left behind. So we're absolutely 10 years behind because Mike Ashley didn't give a damn about the club. He wasn't putting money in advertisement sponsors, the X, Y, and Z, getting the brand on a global space. So that's why we're just trying to play catch up at the minute. And like we're just having to do it the long way around, unfortunately. But where there's a will, there's a way. And Geordie's will do it. Let's go.
Yeah. There is a way, and they're slowly doing it. You can see everything's getting better. The sponsorships are getting bigger. The revenue's getting much bigger. That's why we've grown from a £350 million club into almost a £1 billion club. We're not quite there yet, but we will be eventually.
Sunderland still have a bigger marketing department than we do.
That does not surprise me. They're also going to have a lot of problems as well.
And I mean, Dan can attest to this, but like when you look back when Mike Ashley took us over, we were a bigger club than Spurs and in the US.
Yes.
And we have been dwarfed by Spurs in the
Yes.
US supporters groups and every you can spit and hit a Spurs supporters group
Really?
here. Yeah. It's where I used to live in Washington, DC before I moved to the West Coast. We used to get 20 to 25 fans in a bar watching Newcastle, Spurs, Chelsea, those guys didn't exist. The group I used to watch with doesn't exist anymore. They just stopped going because of Mike Ashley.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that doesn't surprise me, to be fair.
Spurs took up the bar.
Yeah, I mean, Spurs have got that super stadium. As soon as they built that, their match day revenue jumped so high, which is why.
Sorry, not just that though, but obviously with Spurs as well, they got like a really, really good contract with the NFL as well.
Yeah,
so
NFL.
yeah, so that's why they like the hosting games there. And obviously, America is NFL crazy, if I'm not mistaken. And I think that's how they've managed to sneak in there and get them sort of fans. Come in the future, I mean, yeah.
Who did they have? Deuce. What's Deuce's name, Dan? What's his name?
Clint Dempsey.
They had Clint Dempsey. They had the American keeper, Friedel. They've had a bunch of American players just at the right time when I think Fox signed the contract that put the Premier League on regular TV screens, because before it was all satellite dishes. But right at that 2008, 2009 was when they signed that contract, and you could get it on TV over here on like regular TV. They had all the Americans, and it just took off.
In 97, 98, 99, it was Fox Sports World, which was a $15 premium channel that you could only get if you were a DirecTV or Dish customer.
Right.
And as Simon said, about a decade after that, Fox then added it to their FS1 channel, which became not a premium channel, but it was a regular cable channel. It wasn't just Fox. It was also something that you could get on cable, like the USA Network. You know, it was a channel that was readily available. It wasn't a premium channel anymore. And then once NBC signed or got the Premier League rights, and Simon, I think we can also agree, the Asian community totally
it was another thing.
Totally got behind Spurs when they signed Sun. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I have three friends who are Spurs fans just because of Sun.
Yeah.
And right now they are absolutely devastated because he's not there anymore.
Yeah. I had a server the other day. I think it was before we went to the East Coast. I'm pretty sure I was still in San Diego before I went to the wedding. And she was wearing kind of that horrible third kit they had a couple of seasons ago. It was almost like paisley, that design. Sun 7 on the back. She was Asian, you know, and like there it is, you know. We had brown ale. I know a lot of people that support us just because of brown ale and then got into it, but the Asian market definitely took. You know,
I'll always remember watching that Big Bang Theory and they were drinking brown ale in the pub on that episode. I was like, no way! What's going on there?
When I was in college, 96, 90, 93, 4, 5, 6, 7, everybody in college was amazed that I came from Newcastle, and all the college guys had brown ale in the fridge.
Wow.
In my mind.
That's mint. I love it.
It was like a cult thing.
Yeah, I love it. Right, we'll just break away very quickly for our sponsors. Diet Grow, absolute amazing stuff. Code BARS20 for 20% off. Link is in the description. All their club is amazing. There's not just Newcastle stuff there, so go and check them out. And of course, Sparkies.
Yes, hello, proud sponsor of the show, guys. Thank you. And obviously, I own the Geordieland Experience, which is all about uniting tourism, hospitality, and events in Newcastle. We've just went live with our insurance, so we are now licensed to thrill. So if you do want to get out and about in Newcastle, give us a shout.
That's it. It's 007 Sparky from now on.
Oh yes. I'm live and direct. I'm buzzing.
Right. The other poll I did, which I think is a good poll to ask, is now that the window is slammed shut, where do you think we're going to finish this season, Sparky? Now, bearing in mind Champions League football, 4 competitions, where are we going to finish in the league and why?
So come Premier League, I'm going to say like so to going off last season's Premier League position and points, it was like right down to the wire. It was so like nail biting to say if we got Champions League or not, and then just to get it by the goal difference, we're just like, yes, come on, Geordie party. So I'm gonna go like same position, like a solid 6, solid fifth,
Right.
6. And I think we're going to be battling with like a mad surprise team, just like how well they, like a Brighton or something like that. You know, I think they've been really strong at coming off the block. So I'll say like a solid 6.
Solid 6. We're going to finish. Simon, UK.
It's about where I thought, somewhere between 5th and 6th. You know, the window that we've had, other clubs have had good windows. I think people saying that there's this massive decline in Manchester City, I think that signing of Donnarumma has just pulled their season out of the bag. Yeah. I think that's a massive signing for them because they've been conceding goals, but they've been conceding silly goals. And I don't think they do that anymore. I genuinely don't think that they do that anymore. I think a surprise might be, I don't think Arsenal are going to be as good as what everyone thinks they are. I don't think Gyökeres is that guy. I think he's still the same player that he was at Coventry. Watching him against Liverpool, he got bullied.
That's an interesting take. Bookmark that, Arsenal fans.
Flip me up all you want. Flip it up.
So 5th or 6th, you think?
Yeah, 5th or 6th.
Right. San Diego?
I think I answered. It might have been your poll I answered.
Probably.
I think I worry about injuries and what the Champions League is going to do to us again this year, although we probably would have learned from last year. But yesterday, my gut said 7th or 8th. Partly because, like somebody just said, like there's going to be a couple of teams that are going to be surprising. Spurs are going to be undoubtedly better than this year. You already have what is the top right now? Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea, or Spurs, and then Chelsea. And then you're going to have City in there. So there's 5 straight away. We've got to try and get into that group, plus possibly Brighton or one of the other teams as well. So we're sort of one injury away from possibly. I could see us getting 6th completely, but my gut, I guess, says that 6th to 8th range if we were unlucky with the injuries.
Over Simon.
I think there's a couple of teams that are one injury away from a total collapse. Liverpool for one. Liverpool.
Do you think?
A Virgil van Dijk injury. Virgil van Dijk.
And defence potentially,
Virgil van Dijk injury, and that they will plummet. Plummet.
I haven't been impressed with that Kirkes or whatever, the left back this time. I saw a couple of bits. I wasn't impressed with him at all. I don't know who they were playing last game, but I was like, didn't think much of that at all.
The Arsenal game, that the player was very. It always is when the big boys plays against each other. It's boring. I mean, me and Dan had our say last night with Gibbo. We were all convinced 5th or 6th, being the same reason that the top 4 of Man City, Chelsea, Arsenal, and Liverpool has kind of cemented the top 4. And it's that race for the 5th spot, because the 5th spot for me will be Champions League football again, because we've got 6 teams in the Champions League this year. The amount of points will accrue should get us in that top 2 of countries that will get that extra space again. And I think our only challenges really are Spurs, because I think Villa have been weakened too much now. I don't think Man United are Man United again, so I don't think them challenging for 5th. Brighton have lost João Pedro. Bournemouth have lost players. They were up there. Fulham have lost players. I just think there's only Spurs who will be really challenging us.
Do you think Amarin's going to last the season?
Nah.
That could rejuvenate Man United. That's the worry.
I'm not convinced he lasts the season. They need to keep somebody and get some continuity and like let him get a hold of it and grow. And it might take 3 seasons or whatever. But you can't just keep firing people and expected just to get better. But it's Man United. I'm not sure either. He doesn't just walk, because he seemed to lose his marbles the other day in that Grimsby game.
Oh, that was a crease that with all the magnets, and oh my god, brilliant.
Or they end up firing him, but I think they've invested too. I mean, they've invested a lot in him.
Forest could be sort of a chance, and there's a good shout here as well. There's a lot of teams lose players for AFCON. We lose Wissa. Liverpool lose Salah. There'll be other
half of their starting 11.
Yeah, Liverpool. About 7 of them, 8 of them, or something like that. So there's a lot to worry about. There's also a lot to be excited about. It depends on how if we beat Wolves and beat Wolves well, and we start looking like the team we should be. I honestly think 5th. I really do. 5th or 6th, but I'm hoping for 5th.
And what we discussed with Gibbo last night was, go back and look at those first 2 games, the game against Villa and the game against Liverpool, especially when we looked better with 10 than they did with 11.
Yeah.
If we had had a center forward that wasn't sitting on his ass with his heels up, bitching and moaning about not getting a move, if we had had someone with end product on everything that we were throwing at the net, we would have had 9 points instead of 2.
Yeah. I could
Leeds is going to be a shit show for every club that goes into Ellen Road, because they're going to play that way at Ellen Road. They know that they have to get points. Doesn't have to be wins. They just have to get points at Ellen Road. So they will be playing for a draw anytime that they can in order to get points on the board. They're going to have to go away. They're going to go on the road, and they're going to be shooting for wins or losses. But at Ellen Road, they just want to put on a show for their fans and show that they mean business. My feelings are, we've got surprise packages in Voldemade and Wissa. We know what Wissa's capable of, but we haven't seen him play with our forwards. We're not gonna see that immediately at Wolves, because we won't have Gordon for another 2 games. But we're gonna see Barnes. We're gonna see Elanga. We're gonna see Ramsey. We're gonna see Bruno. We're gonna see Tonali. We're gonna see Livramento and Hall. We're gonna see Trippier. We're gonna see the guys that we know can put balls in the box. What we haven't seen so far in the first 3 games of the season is someone on the other end of all those crosses. Now we've got the 6'6" Beardsley in the box. A guy who's able. If you were to stand the 2 of them together, Beardsley would come up to Voldemade's navel. So I mean, we're looking at a player who is good with the ball at his feet, who also has the height. Martin Mark, our set piece specialist, has to be licking his lips, looking at the likes of a Dan Byrne, a Malik Chow, a Voldemade, a Botman. We got, how many players do we have now that are over 6 feet? We've always complained that we haven't had any height. Well, that's not a complaint anymore, folks. We've got the height. I'm really, really looking forward to seeing what our new front 2 are capable of. If we're going to play Wissa as the 9 and Voldemade as a possible 10 / false 9, I'm excited to see what we've got. I don't think Chelsea's going to have an answer to us. I mean, we showed our quality against Liverpool, especially with 10 men. They had a full strength squad out there. Now, they didn't have he who shall not be named in their starting 11, which they will have going forward. But we've played them at St. James's Park. Now we have to go to Anfield and show them what we're all about.
Can't wait for that one.
I think Man City is going to be a different kettle of fish this year. I agree with Simon BPA that our PBA that the signing of Donamara has pulled them out of the shit, so to speak. I think Trafford I think we dodged a bullet on that one. I think he's got a little bit more development to come before he can be a first class starting keeper. I mean, he played great in the Burnley in Burnley for Burnley in the championship, but the Premier League is a different kettle of fish. I said 5th yesterday with Gibbo simply because I think we're the surprise package. I think that we've got a whole bunch of stuff up. We've got cards up our sleeves that no one's seen play with our guys yet.
Yeah.
And we have the trump of all. Oh goodness, why did I do that? we have the best ringer in all of this. We have Eddie Howe.
Yes.
Nobody else has Eddie Howe.
I agree
And
with that.
we can show now the progression over 4 seasons, how he has made average players good. He has made good players better. He has made great players incredible. So I think I me personally, I think 5th is where we'll end up. I think it could be further than that. Oh, what happened? Where'd everybody go?
I just fancy putting you on the screen because you were going into one of those Churchill moments.
We'll fight on the front.
Yeah, we'll find them on the beaches. We'll find them in the sands.
We'll never surrender.
We'll never surrender. I did have something I wanted to say as well. I can't remember. Oh, yes. If you want to see what Voltemade's all made about, he's actually in the German squad. So he might get a game against Slovakia. So if you want to watch him, check him out. This is what the poll said. So between 5th, 65%, top 4, 21%, and 6 and 7, 36%. So we're right in that middle sort of section. I should have really kept 7th away from 6 and done 7th and 8th, to be fair. But, I make mistakes. But yeah, I'm hoping 5th. Fingers crossed. What else have we got? All depends on the strike. It does all depend on the strike. But this is, like I say, he's our new Andy Cole. That's what I've been deeming him as. I think he's going to be absolutely quality for us. Right, guys, this is very interesting. This is net spend. Now, I hate net spend, to be honest with you, because I just want to know how much clubs have spent. I'm not bothered about what they've sold, really. But this is good for PSR. And it shows me one fact that it blows everything out of the water when it comes to everyone saying, how can Chelsea keep spending what they're spending?
Yeah.
Chelsea spent 296 million this summer, but also sold 314 million worth of talent.
Yep.
That's why, yeah.
Can I just stop you there? I know that we keep on saying about Chelsea and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more annoyed about Man U spending power. What, they finished 15th? They didn't win any cups. They didn't do nothing in the competitions. However, they can still go and spend hundreds of millions of quid. It's honestly, it's just absolutely
the
bonkers.
commercial that they built up over a dynasty.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Their commercial revenue every year is about 3 billion a year.
But that's because they've got, like I said before, tractor sponsors, condom sponsors. They're like, you name it, they'll put their name on it.
Yeah.
But
Condoms probably isn't a good idea though, the way they're going south.
No.
Man
it
United
begs the
is
question.
Gene Simmons of the Premier League.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. They cancelled the
with some
Christmas
of the
party though.
Yes. With some of the Premier League rules, and we talk about APT and this and that and the other.
Mm-hmm.
How is it that you're allowed to carry $1 billion of debt of a leveraged buyout covering just interest for 20 years, and you're not required to pay off the loan?
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? But they got in there before all the rules changed, because Arsenal were trying to do that, I think, and they wanted to.
They absolutely did, but surely that needs to be something looked at. FIFA, if you're truly talking about protecting clubs, then surely a leveraged buyout and you're not paying down the loan is something that UEFA and everybody else has to look at. So
they should do. The problem is they'll look at it for future purposes rather than saying to Man United, you need to bring this down, because it was done before the rules were put into place. So, and that's how they get away with it, because like you mentioned, their commercial revenue is the high. I think it's probably second to Real Madrid, maybe, or someone like that, or third to Real Madrid and Barcelona. That's why they can keep on spending. It will catch up with them eventually if they don't qualify for Europe again, and they don't get Champions League football soon. It'll all come crashing down, and it'll be the biggest implosion we'll ever see in football, and I am here for it.
They've been going to places like Abu Dhabi, Dubai, Hong Kong, Singapore since the 70s.
Yeah. So all these pre-season friendlies, these end of season friendlies to pre-season friendlies, everything they're doing is raking in so much money.
Yes.
But they will implode eventually. They really will if it carries on, because if they don't get Champions League football, there's a big loss on their revenue sheet from that. I reckon another year out of it, and then we could see a bit of an implosion coming. So let's just hope they
because their
Fingers
Adidas
crossed they keep
contract,
hammering.
Yeah.
their Adidas contract, like Liverpool's, is also tied to the fact that they have to make Champions League and they have to be winning things. If they don't, there's a significant hit on the Adidas contract.
Yeah, exactly. I've got some good news for you, though, guys. The supercomputer has done its predictions for the Champions League, and it's got us finishing in that bracket where we go into a playoffs.
Lovely, jubbly.
Above Bayern Munich.
Yeah, we're finishing 10th according to this. Same amount of points as Bayern Munich, exactly the same. So I don't know why we're ahead of them, unless it's on goal difference or something.
Because Voldemort can find the net word.
Yeah.
Because we're Nick
That's funny. I don't see. Oh, they're down the bottom now. I don't see Sunderland on there. Huh.
Get in.
I like that.
You've got to get that again. Well done.
Exactly. But look at the teams ahead of us, though. I mean, Jesus Christ, it's hard to break that little mini league. I mean, and this is why I think we'll get
4, 5. I mean, there's three England clubs right at the very top, and then there's Spurs and us.
Yeah, and then there's Chelsea in there as well.
Yeah.
So there's actually So this is why we'll get 5th spot again, because if this comes true, we're going to accrue enough points for 5th spot to be a Premier League place again. Do you agree with all this, Sparky? Do you think we've got a chance of finishing that high up this league?
I mean, to be totally honest, like with some of the draws that we're getting, I mean, who is it? Like Barcelona at home, Bayern Leverkusen, PSG away. I mean, to be totally honest, at home, that's where the points are going to be at. Honestly, I just can't wait for the champion. Just the champions. Honestly, just floodlight football at St James's Park, man. I think we're going to qualify 100% into the knockouts. Just to clarify on that one there before I get too excited.
Yeah, it's a tough one. Simon, UK. Or Champions League run, what do you think?
I think we're going to actually, with the experience that we gained from a couple of years ago, I think we're going to surprise a few people. I mean, we definitely owe PSG at their place last game of the, that was just daylight robbery. But, PSV, what's the other one? Is it somewhere in Belgium, is it, that we're going to as well?
Union.
Yeah, I think we're going to surprise. I mean, I reckon that the first game is what sets the tone for us. If we can get a decent result, and that first night at St James's Park, if that sets the tone, if we get a decent result there, I can see us actually doing better than 10th.
Yeah,
I think if we can get 3 points against Barca and we set ourselves off that kind of trajectory, I think you could be right. It all depends on the first game. If we can get even a point, I'll be absolutely buzzing with. Because
you just got to remember that PSG weren't ready for that night at St James's Park.
No, they weren't.
And I think Barca will find themselves in the same boat.
I like it.
Yeah.
San Diego.
I'm actually just looking at the fixtures right now. I mean, Barcelona could go 1 or 2 ways, right? Like PSG, the atmosphere, or that could be a 5-0 just, horror show. But then the game in Belgium, I mean, I can't see how we don't win that very
tough one. Benfica can be iffy.
It could be tough, but I could, I could
Benfica
see it going
at home.
Yeah, Benfica's at home on the 21st of October.
If it was at their ground, we wouldn't have a chance.
I mean, to be fair, I could see it going 1 of 3 ways. Athletic Club, I like Athletic Club. They're my Spanish team in a way. I like what they do. But again, if we can nullify Nico Williams, I think that's easily. Marseille haven't got a clue what they're doing these days. I don't think they're really the same team they used to be. Leverkusen haven't looked the same since they lost their manager
again.
Xabi Alonso. Yep.
Yeah.
They did just who? Oh wait, was that Ten Hag? Was that where Ten Hag?
It was.
Yeah,
It was
Ten
Ten
It
Hag.
was Ten Hag. That's right. I just
2
read
games
that, yeah,
in.
I think
2
yesterday.
games in.
And then their central midfielder went to the dark place. So who knows if I think we could do that. PSV. I think I went to the PSV games the last time we played them 20 odd years ago, 30 years ago.
Was that in the Total Cup, wasn't it?
No,
Was it in the total? Did we not see them in the Champions League?
Oh, Champions
Oh,
League.
Feyenoord was the one I'm thinking. Oh, but PSV would definitely played them in the Champions League.
Yeah,
I'm
we
sure
did. We played them because I've still got the home ticket somewhere. And then PSG. Well, hopefully we don't need. Hopefully we don't need that. We don't need anything from that one. But I mean, bookended by Barcelona and PSG. The rest are more than winnable, or at least getting some sort of point out of it.
Yeah,
it's not really as bad as when the start initially were pulling the names out. You're like, oh, then you actually start looking at what the teams are actually doing. Like we just said, Leverkusen just fired their guy. Marseille, Athletic Club have been a bit iffy this season. I think the middle fixtures are more than sort of getting some sort of result out for positively.
Yeah,
I'm sure Leverkusen's just been stripped of Wirtz. I'm sure they lost another high-profile.
Granted,
Zaka has gone to the Mackhams.
Obviously, Wirtz did. They lost their strike. I think the striker.
Boniface has gone to Werder Bremen.
Yeah. That's another one. Yeah, so they've just been dismantled over the summer as well. So
was he the one with the dodgy knee?
Yes.
Boniface, he's got that crazy scar
was it
down the
Inter?
front of his knee. Yeah.
He was going to AC Milan, wasn't he? He was going to go to, and they got pulled off. Yeah, because of his medical failed. I mean, that scar on his knee is horrific. He hasn't had a knee injury in 2 years, and the reason why he failed his medical is they said we don't know how long he's going to last, so we don't want to take the risk.
Well,
it does look like a shark attack.
Yeah,
we're talking about a club that didn't sign a player because he had bad oral hygiene.
Really?
Yeah, AC Milan, their school of science and everything is nuts. And there's a lot of stuff these days, like dental hygiene can show how elite and how quick something like that extra can be put all the way back to dental hygiene.
Wow.
Yeah, it can affect your heart, dental hygiene.
Right.
It's ridiculous.
Didn't we have a problem with that with Cabai back in 2011? That's why he didn't come over. Yep. Well, they said he couldn't get a visa. There was a problem with his visa, but it was related to dental work that he had to have done before he could get a visa, and that was back in summer of 2011.
Yeah.
Wow.
Johan Cabai didn't come to the United States in 2011 because he couldn't get a visa due to something having to do with dental health.
Wow.
He comes to Turkey, that's why.
He does have a good set of teeth on him these days.
He's been to Turkey.
Whatever he did, whatever he did worked.
It worked. Brilliant. Dan, very quickly, what about your thoughts on the Champions League? We're going to qualify.
I'm just excited. Let's just go. Yeah. I don't give a shit. Just bring on the Knights. Let's do it. Let's go.
Not long.
Regardless of, I want us to progress. Obviously, I want us to progress. But just the PSG game at St. James's Park, that lit a fire under us that I don't think has been quenched yet. And I think missing out last year was detrimental, but quite frankly, I think we did as well as we did because we didn't have the added distraction. We didn't have the added injury issues
100%.
because our squad was still smaller. We've now added on. I think we've got for the first time since before Rafa, we've got 2 players in each position. So we've got the flexibility now to do some rotation. Simon, I saw Simon in San Diego perk up with that one. Do you agree or disagree?
Actually, I had a question I wanted to pose to y'all because
Okay.
Go on.
I can't believe I just said y'all. Oh,
You were in North
here.
Carolina for a week.
Yeah.
Everybody was like, "Sweetheart, darling, how you doing, babe?" Like, I was like, "What is going on around here?"
Bless your heart.
Yes, and I had that as well. Do we think? I'm not confident, right? It might be an unpopular opinion. I'll say I'm not confident in Botman. Not his defending. I'm not confident his knee. I'm not sure he's going to be. I'm not sure he's going to be our number one central defender with Chow. I'm beginning to lose confidence in Botman.
Yeah, I can see that was actually said by Chris at the very start of the show in the chat, and I thought he was talking about because he said, goodbye to Isaac on live. He said no about his knee, and you could be right. I mean, he hobbled off again. Whether it was precaution to change the formation, we don't know.
They got Samson
back in. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I'm 50-50 with him on his fitness, but on his ability, I'm like way up there.
I mean, on his day, he's a Rolls Royce. Sidearm.
Like another Woodgate.
But I worry he's going to be look amazing. He's going to turn kind of like the guy at Spurs, Madison. He's going to turn with nobody around him, and we're going to look back, and he's going to be on the deck holding his knee again.
Right.
I
think that's why we're managing
feeling on me. It just worries me.
And Baz and I saw that at the Atletico Madrid Sela Cup game. He played those first 45 minutes, but when everybody else went down the tunnel, he and the fitness coach stayed out on the pitch for the 15 minutes of halftime, and he did warm downs. He did a mini warm down session. They were managing his minutes. I think the only reason why we saw him play against Leeds was because we knew, and Baz doesn't ever want to see that formation ever again.
No.
But I think that's because we knew they were just going to put 10 men behind the ball or 11 men behind the ball, and we were going to have a hard time. Well, all we had to do was make sure that they didn't counter. So, but going back to the original question, Baz, I just want those nights. Let's just do it. Let's get in there and let's show them what we can do. I am, honest to goodness, really excited about the WWE that we have up front. Yes, I did that.
with Ilanga.
Exactly. Yep.
It's on my board behind me in my office at work.
I knew we'd get something like that in some way.
Or the World of Warcraft or something like that with the WOW. Or just simply wow. So
wow.
I'm just looking forward to all of it. It's just I'm excited to have an end product that's not sitting his arse on a couch somewhere bitching about not being someplace else. That's what I'm most excited about.
You should come down host for that Thursday game against Barcelona.
I would love to. Unfortunately, I will be on the East Coast. But yeah, I will be wherever that Barcelona game is playing, Simon. I will be finding a pub, even if
whereabouts you going to be?
New Jersey.
Yeah.
And out in the sticks. Yeah, if I could get to Peter Dillon's, I'd be there, but I'll be out in the sticks. So I'll be probably watching on my iPad somewhere at a windmill hot dog place or something. So that's probably where I'll be.
Love that.
Right, we'll wrap it up there. Exactly. Right, we'll wrap it up there. Thank you so much to both Simons, to Sparky, to Dan for coming on and doing this lovely show and talking about football. It's just nice to get other opinions and listen to everyone's facts and fictions and stuff like that. So thank you very much, everyone. We'll see you again tomorrow night on Martin's channel, The Mancunian Way. Jump over there. I'll be on there. Dan, you're welcome over there if you want to come on there as well for the Oil Brothers. And again, we'll just be talking about football and about both clubs.
Am I not hosting something else?
That's next week.
That's next week. Never mind.
Next week.
And also, I just want to say, Simon and Simon was absolutely great to meet you two guys as well. Like, so
you too, Sparky.
Nice to meet you.
Which one?
He's always at work, isn't he?
One of you isn't wearing a cowboy hat. The other one's not driving an IROC. That's what needs to happen right now. Since that took place in San Diego, I think Simon in San Diego needs to drive the IROC, and I think Simon PBA needs to be wearing the cowboy hat.
I've got the cowboy hat. I'll bring the cowboy hat out for next time. Don't you worry.
Yes,
I do have one.
Simon is AJ to Simon's Rick. We got it. Simon and Simon. I love it. Well done, Sparky.
Yeah.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, lads. Take it easy, man.